it's not often when you find a great GM available on the market, but it happened this time. Daryl Morey.
Oh, I'm sorry, you confused me. That you were talking about like
Philadelphia signed Daryl Morey, and I think this was a great move. People talk about how his first move in Philly is kind of trading Simmons because he can't shoot, but I think that's wrong. Like, I think Daryl Morey isn't super fixated on these analytics, and well, he is fixated on these analytics, but Ben Simmons fits analytics. He's just not a great shooter.
Yeah. People confuse analytics for just shooting numbers when realistically it's not that. And Ben Simmons does so much on the floor.
He assists
on analytics loves.
I think last year he assisted on the second most 3-point shots made.
He's a great defender, one of the better perimeter defenders in the league. Ben Simmons is a great
player. I think we can all agree he's a great player. He just doesn't want to shoot the
He's just I think Ben Simmons is a great player, but
he's a liability.
He's not a superstar. He's not a star player. He's a role player to role to great player.
Whoa!
I
consider him a star.
No, I don't think he's a star because do you think Ben Simmons can be the first or second best player on the championship team?
Yes.
I don't think so.
Not the first.
I think he could definitely
second.
be the second.
I think Ben Simmons is Draymond. He needs a Clay and Curry.
Draymond was a star at a point in his life.
Draymond, yeah, but he was a star, but
you could be a third
that's
star.
What I think Simmons is. Simmons is a 16, 8, and 8 guy. He's not a 25, 8, and 8 guy.
I think he can be a 20 to 25, 8, and 8 guy, though.
Listen, I have been one of the biggest critics of Ben Simmons that you can find. And when it comes down to it, I think that 2 years ago during the Nets playoff series against the 76ers, Jared Dudley hit the nail on the head and got killed for it. In the half court, Ben Simmons is an above-average player. He's an above-average player in the half court. But on the fast break, defensively and playmaking-wise, he is one of the best in the league at those three things. And I think that qualifies him to be a star.
When I say role player, I don't mean it in the way that you guys are taking it. What I meant it, Chris Middleton, can we agree he's a role player? He's playing a role to a superstar to win.
Can you use a different? All right, can you just use a different word? I feel like role players really just dope. Like, it's just discrediting these players.
When you talk about Giannis, we say his role players have to step up. That includes Middleton. I think Ben Simmons is a role player, sidekick kind of guy. He can't be the best player on the championship team, and I don't think he can be the second best either. How can you say that, though, at 20? He's 23. How can you say that early? Because when you've seen players in the league for a while, you kind of know what they're going to be. He's a better Draymond.
That's pretty tough.
Draymond's a great player, but he's a role player.
So you mean to tell me, hypothetically speaking, if he gets a jump shot, he can't be the best?
He's not going to get a jump shot.
I'm saying, if he gets a jump shot, even if he gets if he gets a mid-range and a post-up, he can't be the second best player.
But we have to stop saying that. It's been how many years he's been in the league, and he doesn't have any of that.
He's 23, though.
I think
it doesn't matter.
I think right now, without the jump shot, he could be the best player on a championship team.
Oh, hell no.
I didn't say that.
But
I didn't say that.
The team needs to be constructed the right way, and it depends. So let's just go crazy here. Let's go crazy here. Let's rewind time to last season. Say instead of trading for Russell Westbrook, the Rockets went out and traded for Ben Simmons. They could have been, and they didn't trade Clint Capella. They couldn't have been a championship team.
Oh, hell no. Clint Capella and Ben Simmons.
I think you still need to trade Clint Capella, but I think they would have been better with Ben Simmons.
Okay, they wouldn't have been they lost. They would have lost to LA
if they traded Clint Capella for a big man that could shoot. Because I think that not having a big man hurt them last year. But then again, Ben Simmons could have really helped out defensively with LeBron James and Anthony Davis.
But I think Houston lost because they left Westbrook open. They do that to Ben Simmons. Leaving Simmons open.
Yeah, but the problem is Westbrook
is way better than leaving Westbrook open.
Thinks he can shoot. Ben Simmons knows he can't shoot.
But what is Simmons if he's there?
Defensively, he'll literally make your team 10 times better than when you had Westbrook.
No, he is a great defender, but I don't think he can be a championship team.
He's even a better
he can be the best player
five
on a championship team.
I mean, if you play Ben Simmons,
Ben Simmons could have honestly played the 5. PJ Tucker could have moved to the 4.
He's a better 5 than
James Harden could have ran the point guard.
And what would have happened when he matched up with AD?
He He could guard him better than PJ Tucker. I'm sorry.
He could have at least slowed him down.
He would be able to guard LeBron better than any job y'all were doing at the moment.
And when you look at it, when you look at that series, I think personally what killed you most was the possessions that Westbrook wasted, whether it was turnovers or bad shots. He really hurt you guys late in a couple of games that ended up killing.
We say this like we haven't seen Simmons in the playoffs.
That is true.
He's bad in the playoffs.
That's a fair point.
Offensively.
That's a fair
Offensively.
point.
He's bad offensively.
But again, like Riv said, he's 23 years old. I'm still going to give him I have not given up on Ben Simmons
I think
whatsoever.
I've already seen the player that Ben Simmons is. He's a facilitator, a great defender. He's not an aggressive scorer, and that's fine. But I think they can build around Simmons in the way that you just bring in shooters, and Daryl Morey does this thing. I mean, in 13 seasons as the Rockets GM, he has 8 straight playoff appearances. It could be because of that man, James Harden, fear the beard guy. He has 0
seasons. He was there for 13 seasons?
Yeah. Okay. He has 0 losing seasons as a GM in Houston. They were the top 2 offense out of 3 years, 3 times in the past 4 years. And he's not complacent. He's made 77 trades in 13 seasons as a GM. So he knows how to make trades. He's going to always try to get teams better. And now Philly has Doc Rivers. They just got Sam Cassell. He's their assistant. Daryl Morey's running the operation, so he knows what to do.
I'm not overly optimistic like you because I've seen him fail.
You think that's failing?
What, now winning a championship?
Golden State was in their prime. I don't think just because you don't win a championship that's failing.
Okay.
He's failed James Harden.
Yeah, okay, I want to say that. He's failed James Harden. He hasn't necessarily, let me not say he's necessarily failed. I just think, I don't want to jump to conclusions because they still have Doc Rivers. So I want to see what's his next movements and what he's going to do for the next couple months with Ben Simmons and Embiid before I make my final judgment. But I do want to say this is the first step in a good move. You're bringing in a guy who knows how to make the playoffs, who knows how to make moves. I mean, he's not a Bob Myers, but, he's somebody. So we'll see.
I think that you hit the nail on the head when you said he's not afraid to make moves. He's not complacent. And I think that was the most important thing for the 76ers because, you look at what they've done the past 2 or 3 years, and although they haven't been complacent, some of the moves they made have been very questionable. And I think that a move like giving Tobias Harris the contract that they gave him was kind of, you struck out and, now you're just making a move to make a move's sake. And I don't think that that's something Daryl Morey does. I think he's very calculated in the moves he does make. And one of the worst parts about the 76ers roster is they're in cap hell.
That's what led me. I had a question because he's walked from cap hell in Houston to now cap hell in Philly. So now you got big contracts like Al Horford, Tobias Harris. You got Josh Richardson contract. So what is he gonna do?
That's true, but to be fair,
he was in cap hell in Houston and still found a way to reconstruct the roster. Although it didn't work out with Westbrook, he knows how to operate under those circumstances.
To be fair, Philly has a much better roster.
Yeah.
Much better roster.
Yeah, that's true. But I don't think I think you can all agree Al Horford's time in Philly is done.
Yeah.
They
have to find a way. I mean, I know it sounds like a perfect world situation, but if you can get Al Horford and Tobias Harris off the books, you immediately jumpstart your
you have cap for another guy.
Yeah. I'd rather get Al Horford and Josh Richardson and keep Tobias.
The only problem is I just feel like you're paying Tobias Harris way too much for the
production
production he's giving you, and he's going to be on the books until 2024.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree with you, but you think Simmons can be the best player on a championship team.
You do think
so.
that.
Tobias just has to be a role player.
That's what he is.
I said he could be the second best player in a championship team.
No, you said first.
We have film. You said it first.
If I did say that, it was a mistake because I meant to say I think he could be the second best player in a championship team.
Do you think Embiid can be the first or no?
I don't think Embiid could be the best player in a championship team.
And I think that right now Embiid could be the second best player on a championship team, but that just means you have 2 guys that can be the second best guy.
I just don't think centers like that anymore in this league can be the best player in the championship team.
And it goes back to, again, I say this so much in arguments, but I think there's like 7 guys in the league that can be the best player on a championship team, and it's going to be so hard to get one of them. So you have to hope that one of these 2 guys could develop into that, or
unless he trade for Harden,
maybe you go out and make a move for James Harden, which I think would totally change the landscape of the Eastern Conference.
Embiid, right?
And maybe if
because they're not accepting
it depends because I don't have analytics in front of me. Daryl Morey has way more analytics, so if it shows him that the analytics shows Simmons would work better than Harden, he's going to make the best move to accompany James Harden.
I think that surprisingly, both of those two players could work with James Harden in two totally different ways. Because Joel Embiid can offer something that he never had in Houston. A big man that can defend really well, but still space the floor and shoot it. And you know Joel Embiid loves to shoot the three-point shot. And it's sometimes, to a bad extent. And I think that it would be a good fit in that sense. But then Ben Simmons can also be, I don't want to say a smarter Westbrook, but a more self-aware Westbrook where he's not going to waste away possessions on bad shots, but he's going to be able to facilitate and defend better than Westbrook while also adding another great ball handler to that lineup and taking away some of that responsibility from James Harden.
It also depends on Doc Rivers' system, too. I think we're forgetting that. What system is he going to be able to play? Because I think that's going to either benefit or hurt either Ben Simmons or Embiid. So whoever guy they keep is going to have to run a Doc Rivers-like system.
Either one will be better than Brett Brown's.
Yeah, absolutely.
So they'll be better in that aspect.
But will it be better than Mike D'Antoni's?
No, absolutely not.
I really do like the move for Morey, though. I think he was a great candidate for this job. I think they are a team that needs to make some moves. Otherwise, I don't see them going anywhere because this current roster construction, while it can be the ceiling is super high for this group, but I just don't think that they're ever going to hit that ceiling. And I think that they need to make moves in order to make a run for the Eastern Conference. And Daryl Morey, like you said, is not going to be afraid to make those moves.